Question. You answered some questions about abortion, but do you think a doctor should be punished who perform abortions?
The question was simple. Do you think a doctor should be punished?
I'll let that be to the states. You know, everything we're doing now is states and states' rights. And what we wanted to do is get it back to the states, because for 53 years it's been a fight. And now the states are handling it. And some have handled it very well, and the others will end up handling it very well. And those are the things that states are going to make a determination about.
States are going to make a determination. The Arizona law does just that. It makes providing an abortion a felony punishable by jail time. And there are no exceptions for rape or incest.
The author of the 4-2 decision wrote, "Physicians are now on notice that all abortions, except those necessary to save a woman's life, are illegal," with doctors facing a 2 to 5 year mandatory prison sentence.
We are 14 days away from this extreme ban coming back to life. It must be repealed immediately.
The decision does away with the state's current 15-week ban, which anti-abortion rights activists had challenged in court.
It's always the best decision to protect life as much as possible.
Arizona is now poised to join 17 other states that have imposed near-total abortion bans since Roe v. Wade was struck down.
The reaction by many Republicans has been callous, and not just with Donald Trump. Here was the hot take from Mark Simone, a popular conservative radio host.
If you had to travel to another state to get an abortion, it's not the worst thing in the world. Hopefully this is a very rare occurrence in your life. Once in your life, maybe you would do it. Buying a bus ticket to go somewhere to get it is not the worst thing in the world.
Actually, getting an abortion is pretty miserable. Most women do not take it lightly. And the humiliation of having to travel across state lines will only add to the ferocity of this debate. The fact is, polls show more than 65% of Americans believe abortion in every U.S. state should be safe, legal, and available until the point of viability, or about 22 weeks into a pregnancy. And even before the draconian decision in Arizona put women's rights in the heart of this presidential campaign, Donald Trump's poll numbers were falling. Newsweek, Joe Biden is now beating Donald Trump in the majority of polls. Quote, polls appear to be moving in Biden's favor. The Democratic incumbent is predicted to win the popular vote in 8 of the 12 most recent polls added to the Race to the White House website, which tracks average polling. In the most recent of these polls, which was done by Reuters and Ipsos, the Democrat is expected to garner 41% of the vote share, while Trump is predicted to win 37% of the vote. And the data behind the polls, or the crosstabs, indicates Donald Trump is behind by double digits among independent and moderate voters. This demographic includes suburban women. And again, the polls were conducted before the Arizona decision. Many Republicans seeking office this year are scrambling to mute the political impact. Minutes after the Arizona ruling, Senate candidate Kari Lake issued this statement, quote, I oppose today's ruling, and I'm calling on Governor Katie Hobbs and the state legislature to come up with an immediate common sense solution that Arizonans can support. Ultimately, Arizona voters will make the decision on the ballot in November. Lake's problem is that a few years ago, she opposed abortion rights. Here she is at the 2022 gubernatorial debate aired on PBS.
Kari, we'll start with you on this one. The new law banning abortion, the new law banning abortion in Arizona after 15 weeks. There's that law, and there's a territorial era law which bans all abortion. Zippo, over. Which law do you think should take effect?
My personal belief is that all life matters, all life counts, and all life is precious, and I don't believe in abortion. I think the older law is going to go into effect. That's what I believe will happen.
Okay, but you approve of that? At conception?
I believe life begins at conception.
Okay, what do we do about abortion pills? What do we do about?
I don't think abortion pills should be legal. That's
not in Arizona.
I believe life begins at conception, and abortion pills should not be legal. That was just 2 years ago, but now Lake is scrambling. Because as the Newsweek headline says, Kari Lake faces disaster in Arizona. And the fact is, since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade and handed this back to the states, every ballot initiative involving abortion has gone in favor of abortion rights and of strengthening women's rights. And even in Republican-red states like Kansas and Ohio, the vote for legalizing abortion has not been close. And now, every candidate for state and federal office is going to be put on the spot. Do you support abortion rights? It has become a top issue in this election, and that means Donald Trump and his anti-choice Republican Party are in trouble. By the way, Donald Trump is now freaking out as his hush money case goes from bad to worse, and even Trump supporters are predicting his legal doom.
And so now there's a trial. The case is happening. You know, it's going to be a tough defense.
Oh, he's getting convicted. I don't really think there's a lot of mystery about that. He's going to get convicted. The jury's going to hate him.
Yes, Trump has even lost Megyn Kelly. And heading into the trial where Trump is accused of falsifying business records to pay off Stormy Daniels, the Don is freaking out. The White House thugs should not be allowed to have these dangerous and unfair Biden trials during my campaign for president.
Whether you're biased or not biased, and they're going to try and root that stuff out, the facts in the case. I mean, for example, you don't actually believe Trump didn't have an affair with Stormy Daniels, as he says, right?
I do not. No, I believe there was an interlude. I don't know if affair may be too
Whatever,
strong.
yes, all right, fair.
Check out that story at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. The most popular is from Abe Garfield 7031, who wrote, "What campaign for president threatening judges and their families is not a presidential campaign?" I hear you. I look forward to reading your comments about Donald Trump's polls crashing and the impact of abortion. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.